Unfortunately, with the high rates of divorce in our country, many people end up in divorce court. And the main issues that they face are involving their children and money. What does a child custody investigator look for? A custody investigation's primary goal is to document negative behaviors. Any alcohol abuse, drinking and driving, drug abuse or substance abuse, criminal activity, leaving the child in the custody with other people, whether it's family, friends, babysitters, nanny. If there's an excessive amount of time that the child is being left without the parent that should be watching them. Is the child around somebody they shouldn't be with? Are there any safety concerns for the child? Is there any verbal abuse, physical abuse, or anything negative that will impact the child? And overall bad decision making. Is the parent making decisions that aren't in the best interest or the well-being or safety of a child? You know, when you conduct surveillance in a child custody investigation, you might have a specific reason of what we're looking for, but you never know what kind of useful information or evidence we will obtain during surveillance and investigation of these matters. I was recently hired by a woman who claimed that the father of her child was an excessive marijuana smoker. We had conducted an investigation and put the subject under surveillance, and we did in fact document that he was smoking marijuana. However, besides that evidence, anytime he was out in public with the child, he was out in a park or a store, walking around a restaurant, he would leave this 5-year-old child alone while he went to the restroom, sometimes up to 5, 6, 7 minutes. Many disastrous things could happen to a 5-year-old child in 1 minute. Kidnapping takes no effort nowadays. There are 3 things that win almost every court case, especially custody cases. Number 1, legally obtained evidence that supports an allegation. If you're claiming that the parent is involved in negative behaviors, drinking and driving, drugs, criminal activity, whatever it may be, having legally obtained evidence that support this clearly, factually, and documented properly now becomes evidence. That's what courts weigh. They don't want to hear he said, she said. They want evidence. If you have a report, video, photos, this is what the court's going to weigh. Credibility is an important factor in court. Anytime the other side looks less credible to the court, that makes you look more credible. Number 3, getting the judge on your side. Number 1 and 2 can equal number 3. Once you have a judge on your side, it can result in having a more favorable outcome for your case. It's not only investigating the parent when they have the child, but just as important when they don't have the child. What are their activities? What are they involved with? Sometimes people are doing more nefarious or negative things when no one's around. Some people will be doing it when they're with the child or without the child. So you want to cover all your bases during a custody investigation. Children are the most precious things in our lives. We would do anything for our children. If you for a moment believe your child is involved in a dangerous, unsafe situation or is involved with an unfit parent, call us immediately to have this investigated.